Good Sunday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I am the host for South Carolina Weather, Jesse Peterson, and let's talk about the weather for your Sunday evening. This is not on a live video format, so there's no chat with us tonight. It's only me talking to the recording people today. And for the people that's on the live audience that decided not to listen to the live recording, or people that decided that they're still going to listen to it even though there's no live recording. We are going to get on with that because we had a pretty huge upgrade concerning the low country of South Carolina for tomorrow. So we got to talk about that. And also, Hurricane Beryl is now a Category 4 hurricane. So we have a lot to talk about. And we also still have to talk about the week forecast for June the 30th through July the 6th. So a lot to unpack. This is probably going to be one of my longest videos. But we will go on and let's get through all of it first. So here is the current radar for South Carolina. You can see that we do have some storms going on down near Allendale, South Carolina, Barnwell, South Carolina, and it's moving down closer towards Beaufort when gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour are possible as it moves over. Some showers in Manning, South Carolina as well as up here inside of Lawrence, Union, and Chester, Rock Hill, South Carolina, as well as getting some rain. Maybe even up there towards Anderson as well as we move our way up. And we go to the MRMS. You can see here is their reflectivity. And moving on to the winter weather. You can see here that we do have some scattered rain showers going through the northeast, even inside of the southern New England regions out there in the Atlantic. We also do have some scattered showers and storms, some widespread in some areas inside of the entire southeast. Florida is receiving some, portions of Louisiana and Mississippi, and the west is getting its fair share of downpours and storms as we go into tonight. The far west, though, is seeming a bit more clear than it is for like the Rockies or the High Plains. Now let's talk about cloud cover. Cloud cover right now, we do have some cloud cover for southern Columbia, most of Augusta, Charleston, Myrtle Beach, Florence, over there towards Rock Hill, portions of Greenville, Spartanburg. So the entire state right now is probably covered with cloud cover. There are some isolated spots, maybe near like the Greenwood, South Carolina regions, but everywhere else, it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty just cloudy right now. Here's our future cloud cover for the next 14 hours. As you push this forward, you can see that the cloud cover will build, especially inside the low country and PD regions. But then as we go into tomorrow morning, see that the cloud cover really starts to clear out. And then but don't worry because it will probably build back up. Here's hour 15 right here of it kind of sustaining itself to being a bit more light. But I do think that it will build more. Here is our current temperature: 77 inside of Greenville, 77 inside of Anderson, Rock Hill, Union, 82 inside of Columbia, 82 inside of Charleston, Myrtle Beach, 79 inside Savannah, 80 in Loris, 82 in Florence, and 80 in Sumter. Here's our low temperatures for tonight: around 76 in Columbia, 75 in Sumter, 76 in Orangeburg, 74 in Barnwell and Aiken, 75 in Walterboro, 76 in Moncks Corner, 79 in Charleston, 80 in Hilton Head Island, 75 in Georgetown, and 77 inside of Myrtle Beach. Here is our precipitation totals, and this is one of the main things that I want to talk about. Because as you can see, as you look into the low country of South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, can see around a good 2 to 3 inches tomorrow. And just to the north of Charleston, for like North Charleston, going up pretty much North Charleston, Hanahan, places like that can see up to 3 to 4 inches of rain tomorrow. Orangeburg can see around 2 to 3 inches. The entire, pretty much from Somerville all the way down to like Charleston, Georgetown, and all the way to the South Carolina Georgia border can see around a good 2 to 3 inches of rain as we go into tomorrow. And obviously, that could be higher. This is just an estimate. We don't know exactly how much rain will fall. This is just an estimate of how much rain will fall. Maybe around an inch to maybe even 1.5 inches in Georgetown, half an inch to an inch in Myrtle Beach, 1 to 1.5 inches in Florence. This is, even though I will say that we definitely need this rain because of the drought conditions. This will cause some flash flooding in some low-lying areas. Streets will be flooded. Maybe even some creek streams, low-lying areas again, like I said. Now, if you're in the upstate of South Carolina, you're good. You don't have to worry about this really at all. It's really once you get to like the Charleston and low country of South Carolina, maybe even portions of Orangeburg as well. But Columbia could see around a quarter of an inch, Sumter on an inch, maybe even Rock Hill could just be out of it. Same thing with Greenville, Spartanburg, and Anderson as well. Here's our SPC outlook for tonight. We do have a marginal risk still in effect with those last few storms leaving out, just with the damaging wind threat. Tomorrow, we do have a marginal risk of severe weather that is, again, just for damaging winds. And for day 3, we do have a chance for some thunderstorm, but not supposed to be severe for the low country of South Carolina. This is the main thing that I want to talk about. Okay, so here's the excessive rainfall for tonight. Just regular marginal risk for pretty much most of the state. That's, not really that bad. It's tomorrow that we're going to have to worry about. And here it is, day 2. We have a moderate risk of excessive rainfall that goes all the way from Georgetown, South Carolina, through Summerville, North Charleston, Mount Pleasant, down into Savannah, Georgia, under a moderate risk of excessive rainfall. Everyone inside this moderate risk can see up to 2 to 4 inches, maybe even locally 6 inches could potentially be possible as we go into tomorrow. So this is a very big event. This could be just as serious as a moderate risk of severe weather. So 15% risk of tornadoes. Trying to think of 45% risk of damaging winds or hail. This could be just as dangerous, especially if you are inside of a low-lying area, than a 15% risk of tornadoes or a 45% risk of damaging winds, which are really high for all of them. Very dangerous situation. As we go into day 3, this is Tuesday. Marginal risk goes all the way from Savannah all the way up into near Beaufort, South Carolina. Nothing for day 4, it seems, and nothing for day 5. So I'm really just watching for tomorrow in terms of excessive rainfall. Flood watches are already in effect as well for probably most of the low country of South Carolina, if not all of the low country of South Carolina, is under a flood watch. Even portions of the Midlands as well, the Southern Midlands, is also under a flood watch for tomorrow. So let's go and talk about the models and see what they have to show. So as we move into the convection allowing models, go to the ARRR, and we're going to go to the 0Z because it's past 10 o'clock, so we're now in those models now. Push this forward. Here as we move through, they still think that some more storms are possible as we get to around the 11, 12 o'clock time frame. But then as we get into later, it pretty much all is just gone. Here's 9 o'clock. Start to see nothing really going on here. But it's really when we get to around 12 o'clock because these showers and storms are already forming near the Charleston region. And the storms just continue here 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And finally, they pretty much all leave. But then we do get some more showers right after that as well. So all of these storms that you can see right here that pass through, let me show you all right here. There it is right there. These will be inside the same area for probably close to a couple hours. And that's why there's so much rainfall. And especially because this area, especially in the Charleston region, is so it's always so low in elevation, and obviously it's near the beach, near the Atlantic Ocean, so it can flood easily. And in terms of precipitation rates, easy precipitation rates over here near Charleston around 2 to 3, maybe even some isolated 4 inches. Up here in Ridgeville around 1 to 2 inches, Lincolnville around 1 inch or so. Up there towards Georgetown, Murrells Inlet, it could be around 5 inches. Myrtle Beach around 1.9. Conway seems to be around 0.2 inches, so not much. Western Branchville around 6 inches. So again, this is just one run. I would have to put inside the national blend of models to see what that says. We may check that out. But that's the models. And also with those thunderstorms as well, may also come some severe weather as well with the damaging wind threat. Here is our update on the tropics. We're going to talk about Burrow. We're going to talk about of Tropical Depression 3, and then we're going to talk about this little disturbance over here. So let's talk about Beryl first. Beryl is expected to remain a extremely dangerous Category 4 hurricane when it reaches the Windward Islands. This is a very dangerous situation, and residents in these areas should listen to local government and emergency management officials for any preparedness and slash or evacuation orders. All preparation should be rushed to completion today. Potentially catastrophic hurricane force winds, a life-threatening storm surge, and damaging waves are expected when Beryl passes over portions of the Windward Islands, with the highest risk of the core in Vincent and the Grenada. I don't know how the word you say that. I think that's Grenada and the Grenadines, I believe. Beginning early Monday morning, hurricane warnings are in effect for much of the Windward Islands. Heavy rainfall and localized flooding are also expected across the Windward Islands through Monday. Beryl is expected to remain a powerful hurricane as it moves across the Caribbean Sea later this week. A tropical storm watch has been issued for portions of the southern coast of the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Interest elsewhere in Hispaniola, Jamaica, and the Cayman Islands, and the remainder of the northwestern Caribbean should monitor its progress. So this thing is not done. It's going to remain a hurricane until it gets all the way close to like Yucatan. So it's going to be a hurricane for a while. Definitely, if I'm in, like eastern Mexico, I'd still be watching for this thing. Maybe even close in the very, very southern tip of Texas, I'd probably be watching this thing as well. So again, we're going to have to watch for all of that. But Burrow's track right now, it's not really like something that, especially that we have to worry about. Nothing that we really have to worry about. Here's Burrow right here. The models have it pretty much kind of capping at around a Category 4, and then it's gonna slowly start to die. But some of the models, even 168 hours out, have this thing still at a tropical storm, and it probably will be. So we're gonna have to watch out for that as well. And here's some of the hurricane models as well. So pretty much, if I was to guess, I think that Beryl has no chance of hitting us at this point. Crazier things have happened, but I just don't. It's just not. I just don't think that it's likely anymore. I think it's gonna pass over Yucatan and then go towards northeastern Mexico or southern Texas. So that's where this thing is probably. That's where Beryl is probably gonna go. Here's some of the GFS ensembles though. Kind of has this thing again going towards southern Texas as well. And actually, so I mean, pretty much as a 1005 millibar. Some even have this thing still going as a tropical storm, so this could be another tropical storm, the second tropical storm that you have gotten. So we'll continue to watch for that, and if you know anybody, which I don't know, probably nobody, but the Windward Islands, they are about to get pounded with 130 mile per hour sustained winds, and with gusts probably in the 150s, 160 miles an hour. Which would be probably just as strong as like an EF4 tornado just sitting on top of your house with some of those gusts like that. But that's pretty much that. Let's go and talk about the next one. Let's go to Tropical Depression 3. Again, not really much for this one. You can see it here. Let me scroll my way up. Here's Tropical Depression 3. Heavy rainfall will result in areas of flooding across eastern Mexico in a Monday, with mudslides possible in areas of higher terrain. And that's pretty much it. So here it is right here. This thing is not supposed to get to a tropical storm. It probably won't. Some models do have it getting to like a tropical storm like as soon as it reaches the coast. But then, well, actually, that's what actually the National Weather Service says. But they say that it will get to a tropical storm status in around a couple of hours or so, and then once it hits the coast, it will like pretty much just die out immediately. Right now, sustained winds of up to 35 miles an hour, probably gusts 45, 50 miles an hour near the eye wall right now. So everyone pretty much on the blue over here needs to be watching out. And some of the models, I mean, there's not really a point of watching the models, but here's just what it looks like. Again, nothing really they're gonna have to. Nothing really that nothing's really uncertain at this point is what I'm trying to say. It's gonna go straight across most likely. And then let's go and talk about 96 Invest. So here is there's Tropical Depression 3 near Mexico. Now let's talk about the next storm system that we're going to be watching for. Here's it is right here. Showers and thunderstorms continue in association with an area of low pressure located several hundred miles southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. Environmental conditions appear conducive for additional development of this system, and tropical depression is likely to form by the middle part of next week, while it moves generally westward at 15 to 20 miles an hour across the eastern or central tropical Atlantic. Interest in the Lesser Antilles should monitor the progress. So, the same storm that hit Burl, or the same storm that Burl is about to hit, is there's probably going to be another storm, if not a tropical storm, that probably will form and hit the same area, just where Burrow hit. So they might get hit with the 1-2 punch. I'm not sure, but if they did, that would be very, very bad. Not even any time to clean up. They just got to get right back into their safe spots again. It's just going to be a quick 1-2. Now, some of the models right now actually have it getting up to a category 1. That's where around they're topping it out at. Here's like the model guide. You can see right here that, again, they're really just watching for this thing to be a category 1, maybe a high-end tropical storm, kind of like a mid-level category 1. But, I mean, I think that it will definitely probably make tropical storm status. Here's some of where the models have this thing going. Here's the hurricane models hitting pretty much like some of the same areas over again. And just, they're going to have to watch out for both Burrow and probably soon Chris, I believe. I think the next name is Chris, so it would be Tropical Storm Chris, I believe. So that's that. When actually, wait a minute. Actually, no. I'm sorry. Tropical Depression 3, that when this turns to a storm, this will be Chris. Right here, this will be Chris right here. Tropical Depression right over here near Mexico, which means that the invest over here, let me see, hurricane names for 2024 season list. Debbie. Debbie will be the next name, so it's Alberto. Burl is already out there. Chris will probably be the one down there near Mexico, and so that means that they will probably get Tropical Storm Debbie. So Debbie is the next name. So we're gonna have to watch out for Tropical Storm Debbie if it does form. So let's go back over here, and that's pretty much that. That's your hurricane update. That's pretty much all the information that I have for right now. So now let's go to the forecast models, because it's time to talk about the future. So looking at the rain right now, the precipitation, push this forward. See here that thunderstorms get going again tomorrow, and with that excessive rainfall going in like the Charleston regions as well. And here, even July the 3rd, it could also be some more precipitation. July the 4th is going to be a nice day, so you can enjoy that. As we go into July 5th and July 6th and July 7th, there goes, I'm pretty sure that this is Burl right here, or I'm pretty sure that's Burl. But becoming a 1,000 millibar low pressure before it hits Texas. But again, rounds of showers and thunderstorms will continue as we continue on through there. And then another area of interest that we're going to have to watch for right here around July the 12th, where we may have a nice little storm, maybe try to go up towards Louisiana, western Louisiana, eastern Texas, so we're going to have to watch out for over there as well. But one thing that I've noticed is that most of the storms are going up inside the Gulf of Mexico, nothing really going in like the Atlantic really too much. But again, that will change obviously, because we're not even close to being done with hurricane season, so we still have a long way to go. We're still nowhere to be done, so don't let your guard down. You always got to keep it up. So that's that. Let's go and let's talk about this week's forecast for June the 30th all the way through Saturday, July the 6th. So as we move into the climate and we go into the weekly, this week it's actually going to be pretty fair. It's not going to be too much of bad weather. Now, obviously, there will be some bad weather in some spots. Maybe, like we have our severe weather. We're going to have our excessive rainfall, but this is on an average. So, on average, Most of this portion of the United States right here will be nice and clear, and then we may have some kind of like some severe weather that may try to go on in between this line right here. And there will be some very unsettled weather going on inside of the northern United States. So that's pretty much that. So some above average fair weather, some above average weather, some mostly fair weather throughout the week. But this is again on average, so not every day will be fair. And then same thing here with temperatures. You see here that we are going to have some above average temperatures as we go through this week as well. Not really too much above average, but just a little tiny bit above average and seasonably for this week. And then as we move to the 7-day temperature anomalies, you can see here that we will have some below average temperatures. Not really the best. Now, if you look for like the Midlands and like the low country PD regions, y'all, everyone inside that region will be pretty much normal just because of that system that's going to be moving through the low country and the southern Midlands through tomorrow. That will stable it out, but then the rest of the week's going to be just those regular pop-up showers and thunderstorms that pop up out of nowhere. And that's what's going to be going on throughout most of the week, which is why it's just normal. But for the upstate, y'all will not be getting that 2 to 3 inches of rain, so y'all are going to be below average, and y'all going to have to watch out for some more drought concerns as we go through this week. But I think that's about it. We don't have an audience to talk to, and it's getting late, so I think it's time for me to head out. So, I don't really think tomorrow's going to be a pretty interesting day, especially for the Charleston regions as well. 2 to 3 to 4 inches of rain. So definitely got to be weather aware. You got to take this seriously, especially if you live inside of a flood-prone area or near a creek. Here's the flood watches as well. Let me pull that up if y'all want to see that. Yeah, here it is. Here's the flood watches. I thought it went to the southern Midlands, but no, it goes just for the low country of South Carolina. Just click on like Berkeley County or something like that. It said Monday afternoon through Monday evening, 12 o'clock, I think to 9 o'clock, where it pretty much just says 2 to 4 inches of rain will be possible with localized amounts near 6 inches. So all of these are possible. Watch out for this tomorrow, and make sure that you guys are being safe out there. Make sure you guys also leave a comment as well. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Make sure you guys hit the share button as well. Right now, we are at 133 subscribers, so we got another subscriber tonight, which is fantastic. Well, thank you to whoever that was. And remember, we're trying to get to our goal of 200 subscribers before the end of August. So August the 31st is the last day. And we're trying to get this done before it so we don't have to rush and try to squish in as many subscribers as we can to one day. So that's pretty much all that we have. So everyone have a fantastic rest of your Sunday night, if you are even still up, or if you're watching this in the morning, which could be a good amount of people. And I will be back tomorrow morning with another forecast update. Fantastic rest of your Sunday.